So my name is Aisha Sambo. I'm the executive director of Youth for Youth. It's a foundation, for short Y4Y, and we encourage young people in Abuja to volunteer because we believe through volunteerism, young people can find their true passion. I'm also a creative director. I engage in a lot of curations of events, advertising, treatments for scripts. So that's me in a nutshell. To me, mental health awareness means being present in the moment because a lot of us don't take the time out to really enjoy a moment. We're worried about either our past or we're anxious about the future. So I feel for me, mental health awareness means a practice of mindfulness. So when I was in secondary school, um, I used to get teased a lot. And you could say it resulted to verbal bullying, which affected me growing up in secondary school. And I just remember not being happy. And believe it or not, I should have been the happiest person in secondary school because it was a familiar space. I had friends there from primary school, but I just couldn't cope with getting up every day and facing the same group of people who would call me names. So I used to get teased about not being able to speak Hausa. I'm from Kaduna State, and growing up at home, most of the time we spoke English. So my Hausa wasn't as fluent as other girls in school. So I used to get teased about that a lot, and it used to get to me because frankly, I just wasn't a strong person growing up as a kid. I just got teased a lot, and that really dampened my self-esteem. I didn't respond. I don't respond well to criticism, even till today. I would say I'm doing much better now than I used to before. So in 2014, my dad passed away, and everybody around me expected me to just go into this massive depression, breakdown. But believe it or not, for some reason, I didn't. So, our mental state can get really tricky sometimes. The things that we think might really affect us, you'd be surprised when they happen. I don't know if this is God's will or the power of going through bad things over a period of time that you're just used to it. When my dad passed away, it was the kind of situation where I had no choice but to be strong. Dealing with a lot of depression in secondary school, what used to help was writing for me. And after my dad passed away, I stopped writing. So I fell into a little bit of a depression because I just felt I didn't want to remember the days anymore. There was like nothing that excited me to write about. I just lost interest for writing for about almost a year. I don't think our parents pay enough attention to depression. Nigeria is such a culture-orientated nation, so the expectations are so high for what you should be. But I feel like if more parents just allowed their kids do what they wanted to do with a little bit of guidance, of course. So my mother in secondary school knew that I was depressed, and I think it was the first time I made her cry. Um, that was that was an emotional time for both of us. Speaking to my mother about my depression helped me get past that stage and phase that I was in. The first time I felt depressed was probably 12 or 13 years old. Yeah, I didn't want to get out of bed. Um, I I ate a lot. Yeah, so when I'm depressed, I tend to eat a lot, and yeah, it's more of emptiness, not wanting to socialize, not wanting to be around other people or doing any sort of physical activities. Just watching TV. And I think a lot of us do that. We redirect our emotions towards certain characters or movies that we want to see, and that can be a bit dangerous over time. What I would say to people who are currently suffering from depression is that it's normal. Everyone is prone to depression. No one is sort of secluded from it. Everyone can be a victim to depression. So what you need to do is find things that you love doing to get you out of depression. For me, I've always loved writing. So whether I'm having a good day or a bad day, writing just tends to help. And because from my entire secondary school life, I used to keep journals. So I used to write every single day how my day went. And looking back at those journals now, I just laugh. Because back then, I thought I had the weight of the world on my shoulder. But life hasn't even begun. If you feel like you need professional help, seek it. There are options in Nigeria, outside of Nigeria, if you can afford it. But don't be a victim of silence. It seems louder when it's silent in your head. We are anxious about the future. We're distraught and confused about the past, when really the only thing that matters is now, this moment right here, and what you choose to do with it.